Good morning. You know, there once was somebody who said such wonderful things that people had to follow him. And one day, somebody asked him, "Who are you?" And he said, "I am the light." Now, today's story takes place in the desert. I couldn't bring the entire desert into this room, so we just have a piece of it. Now, the desert is a very dangerous place. There's not much that grows in the desert, so it's hard to find food. And there's not much water to drink. Without water to drink or food to eat, you could die in the desert. And when the wind blows, the sand moves, and it's easy to lose your way. The desert is a very dangerous place. Now, the people of God in the desert lived in a place where the rain stopped falling. And without the rain, they couldn't grow their crops. And without their crops, they couldn't make bread. The people of God started to starve. The children at night would cry because they were so hungry. So their parents decided that it was time to leave this place. And so they were forced to set out into the desert. It was a tough journey. They continued on. They were there for one another. And they continued all the way to a faraway land named Egypt. Now, in Egypt, the people of God found places to work and food to eat. But the king of Egypt was named Pharaoh. And the Pharaoh trapped the people of God. They had to live where the Pharaoh told them to live. They had to wake up when the Pharaoh told them to wake up. They had to sleep when the Pharaoh told them to sleep. They had to eat what the Pharaoh told them to eat. The people of God were slaves to the Pharaoh. One member of the people of God was named Moses. And Moses went to the Pharaoh. And he said, "Pharaoh, let my people go." And the Pharaoh said, "No." Again, Moses came to the Pharaoh. And he said, "Pharaoh, let my people go." And again, the Pharaoh said, "No." And then strange things happened in Egypt. And then something terrible happened. All the firstborn children, all the boys that were the oldest of their families, died in Egypt, except for the oldest boys that were members of the people of God. They were protected. So when the angel of death came, it swooped over them. Now, Moses came back to the Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh was sad, for he had lost his son. And Moses told the Pharaoh, "Let my people go." And this time the Pharaoh said, "Go." And so Moses hurried back. He told the people of God that they were free to leave, but they were afraid that the Pharaoh would change his mind. So they made bread to leave, but they didn't have time to put the leaven in the bread. And the leaven is what helps bread rise and become fluffy like the bread that you find in the store. Now, this type of bread is called matzo. And it looks like this. It's a very flat, kind of cracker-like bread. But if you eat this bread, you can remember this story. Well, the people of God hurried. They left Egypt as fast as they could. And then they heard it, the sound that they had been dreading. It was the sound of hoofs, of horses and the chariots. For the Pharaoh had sent his army after the people of God. And the people ran, and they eventually came to a river. They were trapped. The river was on this side. Pharaoh's army was coming towards them. And so Moses prayed, "Help me find a way." And God came so close to Moses. And God showed Moses a way. And they hurried across. And this person's really happy. This person danced. This person was a little scared. This person hurried. And when they were safely on the other side, the water came back together, and Pharaoh's army couldn't get to them. Well, they were so happy that they danced, and Miriam led them in the dancing. Now I wonder what your favorite part of this story is. I wonder if we could take a part of this story out and have the same meaning. I wonder if you can see yourself in this story. I wonder. Well, now it's time to change the light. Now remember, we're not putting the light out. We're changing it. So no matter where we go this week, the light of God will be with us. May it be so.